Hello, 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 hello. The sun is catching my hair in a weird way. But today I'm going to be doing my usual book haul from the library and talk about some books with gripping like this, and then those crinkly library book sounds, some tapping, scratching, and some page flipping. I've realized I really like spine tapping, like on books, not on myself. I don't want a spinal tap. But I have a whole new crop, so I figured I could show you some of these books. So this is the book I'm currently reading, What If? By Randall Munroe, creator of XKCD. Now, I am not really familiar with this. I think it's like a webcomic online. I've heard it mentioned before, but I'm not like super familiar with it. But this book is pretty good so far. It's just like hypothetical situations and scientific explanations to them, and they're like really wild scenarios. Like, here's an example. If you suddenly began rising steadily at 1 foot per second, how exactly would you die? Would you freeze or suffocate first, or something else? And then, what would happen if you were to gather a mole unit of measurement of moles, the small furry critter, in one place? What would happen if you tried to fly a normal Earth airplane above different solar system bodies? And he explains it in very scientific terms, using real science, because he's also a physicist, I believe he said. And honestly, some of the content and explanations are a bit over my head. I was never really good at physics and physics adjacent subjects. I'm not really a math person. I am more of a life science person than anything. And then the next book we have is The Mirror by Marlis Milheiser. It's a thick paperback. And it says, a woman faints on the eve of her wedding and awakens at the turn of the century in her grandmother's body in this twisting time travel thriller. And now, I saw this book being recommended recently, I think because maybe it did a reprint or something, but it was released originally in 1978. And I think this is the book I'm going to read after I finish What If. The reprint is not this one, by the way. I think there's a different cover. So then we have House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. And this author, this Alexis Henderson, did The Year of the Witching, which is a book that I mentioned, I think, in my last haul. And it was pretty good. It was YA, which I'm not typically into, but it wasn't too young, so I thought it was pretty good. And I didn't know that when this book came out and I wanted to read it, that it was the same author. And the description says, a young woman is drawn into the upper echelons of society where blood is power in this dark and enthralling gothic novel from the author of The Year of the Witching. Wanted, blood made of exceptional taste, must have a keen proclivity for life's finer pleasures. Girls of weak will need not apply. What does this say here? This says horror, and we have vampire fangs. I don't think that this book is technically considered YA, but I haven't read it yet, so I guess we'll find out. I have a lot of books. So then I have We Spread, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the author's name, so I'm sorry if this is your name. It's Ein, I-A-I-N, or Ian, an odd spelling of Ian. Reed, R-E-I-D. Ian, I'm not really sure. I've never seen that name other than from this author. But I read his book, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, which I might have honestly put in one of these videos a long time ago. I don't remember. But that book was really, really good. This says, Penny, an artist, has lived in the same apartment for decades, surrounded by the artifacts and keepsakes of her long life. She is resigned to the mundane rituals of old age until things start to slip. Before her longtime partner passed away earlier, provisions were made, unbeknownst to her, for a room in a unique long-term care residence where Penny finds herself after one too many incidents. And there's a bit more to that description, but I don't want to read every single lengthy description. But this is We Spread. I have a really hard time with A's that are shaped like this. I used to write my A's like this, but then I just stopped. I don't know. Okay. I had to grab a beverage. So then I have Empire of Pain, The Secret History of the Sackler Dynasty by Patrick Radden Keefe, author of Say Nothing. Now this book was highly recommended to me by a friend of mine, and it is nonfiction. It's quite a chunky nonfiction as well, and it is basically about the Sackler family and like the invention, marketing, dispersal of drugs like Valium. See, I love this sound. When you get like a, not hollow, but like spacious book spine. But this is a pretty dense nonfiction book, but my friend said it was a really good read and that I need to read it as soon as possible. And I love my nonfiction, so I look forward to that. I have another nonfiction. This is Killers of the Flower Moon, The Osage Murders and the Birth of the FBI by David Gran. I don't think I really have to go into a description. I think this covers it. This is about the advent of the FBI in their early days, and then of course the Osage murders, which I believe prompted the FBI to, I can't think of the word, come together, form is pretty much what I'm thinking of, organize. Does anybody else have horribly dry lips all of a sudden with the temperature drop? If you have a temperature drop, it's driving me crazy and it hurts. So then this book is Mother Thing by Ainsley Hogarth. Do you see that? Ainsley. This book is about mother-in-laws. This is a fiction book that I don't like the sound of this book. I don't like the cover's material. And I don't like the oodles of traffic that are outside. I'm gonna move on because I don't like the way that book sounds at all. Okay, so this one is Stalking the Atomic City. Life among the decadent and the depraved of Chernobyl, or Chornobyl. It's spelled a bit differently on the cover. I believe it's spelled that way because it's the way that the author spells it. I don't know. There were weird comments about this book, or reviews about this book when I looked it up. I just found this at my library. It's super, super short. And I thought it would be interesting because it is like a memoir nonfiction style book. It's by Markion Kamish. I think that's how you would pronounce that. But it's basically about being a stalker in Chernobyl. If you're unfamiliar with the term, I believe it's used as someone who goes through Chernobyl, recovers things from Chernobyl, investigates what's going on there now. It's the movie Stalker, directed by Tarkovsky, I think. 1979. That's what that movie is named after. And then the book Roadside Picnic by the Strugatsky brothers, I think. Deals with kind of the same subject, but that book's... No, it's not, because that book's older than Chernobyl. Am I wrong? I think just the film is based off of the book. Sorry, I'm trying to do date work in my head. When did Chernobyl take place? Maybe this book will just tell me. 1986. Okay. So no, the film does not deal with that because the film was 1979. And then I think Roadside Picnic was 1966. I think. But I believe that Stalker... Roadside Picnic, definitely, because I read that like 2 years ago. Roadside Picnic definitely deals with some sort of like atomic wasteland, nuclear wasteland. I don't know what you would call that. I think nuclear wasteland. And then I think Stalker does too, but I haven't seen that film in a really long time. All I know is that it's based off of Roadside Picnic, and they use the term stalker. And I think they use the term stalker in Roadside Picnic as well. But that was all before Chernobyl. See, that's why it's confusing. It's like, it seems like it would be inspired by, but it's not, unless I'm getting my dates really wrong, in which case I'm sorry. I'm really not sure on the date of Roadside Picnic when that came out. I think it's 1966. And I'm like 99% sure the movie came out in 1979. But let's move on from this book because I'm confusing myself. Okay, so now we have a thriller called You're Invited by Amanda Jayatissa. This one has a thick cover. And this is a book about a wedding invite. Her former best friend is marrying her ex-boyfriend and she must stop the wedding. But like, it's a thriller and not a romance. At least I hope. Because I don't like reading romance. Romance, fantasy, and YA are my least favorite genres, in case you were curious. I really don't read them super often. I tend to make some exceptions for fantasy and even YA, obviously, like The Year of the Witching. But for the most part, I steer clear of romance. I think it's very cheesy and sometimes very gross. Honestly. Romance. No, that's not for me. And You're Invited. Could you imagine if your best friend married your ex-boyfriend or your ex-best friend? Your former best friend marries your ex-boyfriend. I would tell my former best friend that she is making a huge mistake. I would not even be mad, I would just be concerned. So now we have Uncultured by Daniela. I'm having a hard time with names today. Daniela Mestianic. No, I think I gave that a very Eastern European pronunciation, and I don't think that's what it's meant to be. This is about the Children of God cult. It's a memoir. I read a lot of cult memoirs. I don't really have an explanation for why. I just find them interesting. I also just really love memoirs in general. They're my favorite genre, probably. Especially memoirs with like weird or unusual situations. Not like famous people memoirs. Uncultured. Because it's a cult. A good sound. I have three books left. Alright, it's kind of hard to see because this eye, my right eye, your right eye, this eye on this side has really severe astigmatism, and I have a hard time seeing out of the corner of it. Like, I can't just do a quick glance like I can with my other eye. sure my stack doesn't fall. Okay, so this is Jackal by Aaron E. Adams. This is a fiction book. What is this about? This is another wedding related book. It is about a disappearance. 14-day book. 14-day book. You had 14 days. 14 days. Go. It's weird that you can see the reflection of everything in the book. This one is covered really well. It doesn't give me the sounds I'm looking for. Look at my nails. My nails look so sad. The second the temperature dropped, they all started ripping off. Just came right off. Don't fall. So then we have Breasts and Eggs by Mieko Kawakami. Again, the pronunciations today are probably not correct. This is set in Japan, and it's about a bunch of women well, 3 women who are experiencing different scenarios, different situations with their body. I think specifically their breasts. Someone is getting a breast enhancement, but then I believe there was someone else who was experiencing something similar, but not super similar, in the description that I read online. Also, for some reason, my library system is, like with this book particularly, is broken, because when I check my account, it tells me I have 99 renewals left on this book, which is that's not a thing. So next time I go in, I'm gonna have to tell them, because I could basically just own this book at that point. That is the book, and this looks like a planet, not anything weird. Okay, last book alert. This is a big boy. This is Thistlefoot. 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 I like that word. By Jenna Rose Nethercott. What a name. That's such a like a folklore name. I don't know. But this is I think this is a fantasy book, actually. But it deals with Eastern European folklore and like horror stories, folklore, horror stories, fantasy stories. Myths is what I was trying to think of. Like the Baba Yaga, etc. I don't know, I haven't read the book. But I am looking forward to reading this. It's a bit late because it's not Halloween anymore. Did you have a good Halloween? If you celebrate Halloween. I didn't really do anything. What did I do on Halloween? Halloween was like 2 days ago and I already forgot what I did that day. What did I do on Halloween? I went to the library and That's all I can remember. It's like the day escapes me. I went to the library and I ate mac and cheese. We made homemade mac and cheese. I did something else. Oh, I went to a coffee shop. And I got a pumpkin iced chai. Because I don't really drink coffee at all. I don't like coffee. But that's what I did on Halloween. Isn't that exciting? And then the day after, we went out looking for discount Halloween candy. And we didn't find much. We found like Reese's peanut butter, pumpkins, and that's it. Everything else was kind of gross. Candies truly nobody wanted. But I'm gonna call that the end of the video because this video is quite long on its own and I'm out of books. So if you like this video, please let me know. If you want to see more of these videos, please let me know. I know that I do these videos a lot. They're like kind of my staple videos that I regularly upload. Let me grab a different book because I don't really care for the way that sounds. This one's really crinkly, crunchy. But let me know if you still like these videos. If not, you can let me know as well. I know they're very talky videos with a mixture of sounds in them and assortment. But if you want to see anything else more specifically, let me know. And I'm losing my voice. That's it. 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 I hope that you have a great day, a great night, wherever you are, whatever you're doing. I hope you had a good Halloween. I hope you have a good whatever the next holiday is, whatever it is. Daylight savings time is coming up. I hope you enjoy that. Anyway, I will see you in the next one.